my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova, and today is Mandala Tuesday. Woo! We're back to our Mandala Tuesdays. And today I am drinking out of my Gudetama mug, and I think everybody can identify with this mug sometimes. I just love this mug. So it has the side that says ugh, and it's, if you've never seen this Gudetama before, he's like a little egg, and he is very like, I don't know, the vibes that he gives off, and then arg, and his little butt. I don't know how to explain it, but it's always things like this. That's kind of his vibe, and it's like everyone can identify with it, or at least I can. I particularly like to get this mug when I'm having one of these kind of feelings in the morning, which was not today. Today I just picked it because it's cute. But like, you know, there are days when you wake up like this and you're like, you know what? This mug. So I'm drinking hazelnut coffee and cinnamon creamer. And to get into it, if you've never been here for a Mandala Tuesday, you picked the perfect time to join, because today is the first Mandala Tuesday update for this new blanket that I started. So I finished a Mandala blanket already. I link the playlist in the description, so if you want to check that out, I would highly recommend it. I did a rainbow one, so it's completely different vibes than this one. This one is going to be a gift, and I'm doing it in more like earth tones and mustards and like fall kind of colors, which fits the fall feeling, the fall like need that I have right now, and that so many of you have also been echoing, like you're like, yes, fall, please. So I've got a nice fall palette that I'm going to be doing. So the way that we do the blanket is every Tuesday I get on here and I make a video. I include my update, and I include updates from any of you guys that have sent in pictures, which my email is in the description. If you want to participate in the Mandala, weekly Mandala blanket videos, then you are totally welcome to send me your progress pictures, and I'll include them in my videos. But there's no like strict like rules to this. You know, you don't have to do a certain amount of rows or anything like that a week. You don't have to be at the same part of the blanket that I'm at to send in your pictures. You, and everybody else is free to work on this blanket at your own pace, as, you know, an ongoing project along with your other projects, however you want to do it. And so that's what I do. I like to make smaller projects, and then this is my long project that I'm working on. And I'm also collabing with two other YouTube creators at the moment, which is Llama Mama Kayla and Heather at Strings and Threads, which I will link both of them in the description. They're also going to be making this blanket and doing Tuesday updates. So if you want some more Mandala goodness, you can find some more Mandala goodness on their pages. Llama Mama Kayla actually did the collab with me for the previous blanket also. So if you want to see more Mandala blankets, she actually has also completed 2 at this point. So, yeah. So to get into what is the Mandala blanket that I'm talking about, I am talking about the Yarnspirations, pattern by Lisa Gentry, and it is the circular fall mandala throw. And this is the colors they worked theirs up in, which is a fall vibe. But you can choose any colors that you want. So there is a crochet along that Mikey at the Crochet Crowd did, and I highly, highly recommend that. That's what I use. I also have the printed pattern, but the pattern is free, by the way. So you can get this pattern, and there's also a worksheet that Mikey from the Crochet Crowd did if you want to print this also. His videos have a link to where you can find the pattern and the worksheet. And I always link his Mandala playlist, his crochet along playlist, in my descriptions for Mandala Tuesdays. So if you're interested in that, You can get it there. And basically what you do is you pick 7 colors and you can put them with like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you choose to, you don't have to. If you choose to, though, you can do that, and then the pattern will tell you when to switch to certain colors. It'll say, okay, now switch to color A, now switch to color G, like, and it doesn't go in order. So this is kind of a good example. You can sort of see, like, this was like a mock-up of the colors, and you can see it goes like A, B, C, B, A, B, D, E, F, G, A. They don't go in order. It's like they planned it out so that your colors would work up nicely that way. So that's what I did for my first blanket. I followed the ABC color order with a little bit of deviating here and there. But for the most part, I stuck with the color order. And I picked 7 colors. This time, though, I'm doing it a little bit different. I decided that I was just going to choose colors and use them as I wanted to. So I'm just kind of looking at my blanket, looking at my colors, and grabbing the next color that I think will look good in the sequence. So we'll see how that works up. I think it adds a little bit of something different this time. Someone actually had a good idea, which I think I might have to do at some point, which is to do like a blind box and reach in and grab a skein of yarn for every row when I switch to a new row, and do like a totally like random unplanned color scheme. I actually think that sounds super fun. So at some point in the future, I think I'm going to need to do that, because that sounds really fun. Like, it would just be cool to see what happened, you know? It could be a total train wreck. It could be a masterpiece. And then you use a 6.5 millimeter hook for this, unless you are working it up or you do a gauge swatch, and you're not like, it's not working up right for you, then you can use a different size hook. I use a 6.5 for it, so that's just what I'm personally using. And I think that's everything as far as info for what Mandala Tuesdays are. And because I know that someone will probably want to know what this is, they'll want to see this, and also because I kind of want to show it to you. I got this mushroom like pendant thing from Hobby Lobby, and it's like meant to be like a keychain or something. And I put it on this necklace with some like little charms that I have. This necklace was gifted to me several years ago, and it's got like a little cowboy boot and a little paw, which is perfect for me because I live in Texas. Not born in Texas, but I live in Texas and have for a while. And then paw, because I am a fur mama. But I love this little mushroom pendant. And it's got a crystal. I thought that was just so perfect for me. I love crystals. So it's like a crystal and a mushroom in one, and it's like purples and pinks. So yeah, I kind of wanted to show that to you. Plus, I figure someone would be like, what's your necklace? So I'll head it off and show you. You know, if nobody asked, well, that's okay. So before I jump into it and start showing you my blanket and everything, at the end of the video, I will like have like my little montage of pictures that you guys have sent in so far for Mandala Tuesdays. And this is the first week. So if you didn't like send me anything yet, you're still waiting on your yarn, you haven't gotten to start, whatever, don't feel like you can't send it in for another week. You can start this and work on this at your own pace. There is no pressure. Like I said, if you're behind me, if you're ahead of me, whatever, you can send those in anyways, and I will still include them. So stick around for that so you can see the awesome blankets. This was super fun last time when we did our mandala, because this blanket looks incredibly different depending on the color scheme that you do. I can't even believe that this is the same blanket, the one that I'm working on now. It just looks entirely different. So just a little note about that so that you don't miss those, because they're pretty cool. So this week I got up to round 13. I finished round 13, so I'm on round 14. The first crochet along video that the crochet crowd has goes up to 10. So I went a little bit past the end of the first video because these early rows in the blanket work up really quickly because they're very small, and you know, you're only going, let's see, does it say how many stitches around these first few rows are? Well, when you're starting out, like you start out, you know, with like 6 stitches. So you get the idea. You're working up from a circle. So there's not going to be a lot of stitches in these early rows, and so they work up quickly, and you can knock out a lot more in one sitting, as opposed to later in the blanket where you're getting a lot of rows or getting a lot of stitches, and it takes a good chunk of time to get around. So I'll go ahead and show you my blanket. So this is what we are looking like so far, you guys. Isn't this entirely different? This doesn't even look like the same blanket from my first blanket. Isn't that crazy? It is absolutely insane to me. So, if you remember, I do my slip stitch row a little bit differently than he does in the crochet along. So basically the way that this row works is this is row 9, and it's a slip stitch row that you're supposed to do in the front loops only, and then in the back loops only. For row 10, you come in behind it to do this row. Well, what I do is I actually do the front loops only for this, but then instead of using the back loops for this row, I actually also use the front loops because it makes the row lay down nicely. It makes these stitches lay down nicely. And if you do it the other way, they kind of, like say that this is them laying flat. If you do it the other way, they go like this, and they don't lay flat. They like curl over and face, like they kind of cup inwards, if that makes sense. And I figured this out on accident last time when I was doing my mandala blanket. So that's just something a little bit different that I deviate with. But this is what it's looking like. And something really cool about doing this pattern, if you're using the crochet along, is if you've never used or you're not very like fluent with like diagrams, like crochet diagrams, Mikey actually like walks you through the crochet diagram every time, which I want to make sure you can actually see what I'm talking about. If you don't know what a crochet diagram is, like these all translate into different stitches, and it looks super intimidating. Like I had never worked with a crochet diagram before I did this mandala blanket. You learn how to read the crochet diagram like just as you go along and you're watching the crochet along, because he shows you like on the crochet diagram, like he talks about the written pattern, like he just kind of explains what's happening, but while showing you on the diagram, and then he shows you, you know, with his yarn and his hook, what you do. So it's actually pretty like, I don't like, extra useful, like another good learning thing that you're having happen without like purposely sitting down to like learn how to read a diagram, is that you learn how to read a diagram just doing this. So I'll give you like a nice close-up. And I'm using some like really fancy yarns in this blanket. Last time I just used like worsted weight acrylics. I love this yarn, Big Twist, Red Heart Super Saver, like just the value yarns. This one I'm actually using some fancy yarns, and so if you want to see what yarns I'm using for this, my last video was an informational video where I just talked about the yarns I was going to be using and stuff. The only thing that I have added since then is this Fireplace Comfort, which looks like this, and is 70% acrylic, 30% wool. Where does it say? Splash of Color is the colorway for this. And I felt bad using this because I wanted to use this for my husband's blanket that I'm working on. If you've watched those videos with the granny squares in them, I'm working on a blanket for him. And one of the colors I'm using is this one. I'm using a different skein of it, but I had 2 skeins of this particular color. And of course he really likes this color and I really like it. It's pretty cool. Works up so nice. But he and I both agreed it really matched the color scheme of this blanket. And I just felt like I needed something like a little bit different. So here is what that looks like working up into here, and it matches so well, you guys. It really does. But yeah, these mustard yarns are super soft. This one is like a velvety, like, I don't even know how to explain that. And then this one is like a very plushy, airy, soft kind of yarn. Like, yeah, so there's some pretty nice yarns in here. Kind of a mix. And by a mix, I mean like a mix of different types of yarn. They're all like acrylic. I think the only one that's not 100% acrylic. Well, no, there is another one that has a little bit of something else in it, but I think this one is the only one that's not mostly acrylic. I think that this one, where is it? Before this slip stitch row, it's got like, let me focus you. If you can see, there are like black fibers mixed in with it. It's like more than one color fibers in there. And that one is like acrylic and something else. I don't remember. But if you want the details, whoops. When I go to focus it, sometimes I just blow it up and don't focus it. If you want to know the details for all of the colors, like I said, my last video has like more in-depth, like yardage, materials. Speaking of yardage, what is the yardage on this? 229 yards. So and then, like I said, with this blanket, I'm doing it a little bit different. I'm not sticking to a specific color like order or anything. I'm also not sticking to specific yarns. So these are the yarns that I'm using right now, but I may add yarns. Like I may do things a little bit differently as I go. I'm just kind of going with the flow and doing like, just seeing what happens and doing what I feel like doing as I go with this one. Just because why not? I thought it would be interesting and make it a little bit more fun. But yeah, so this is gonna be a Christmas gift that I'm working on right now. And I am going to go ahead and include all of the submissions that I've gotten so far this week. Like I said, feel free to send me those. You can send them at any point in the week, and then they'll just be in the next Tuesday's video. Title it something with Mandala in it, just so that I know, because what I do is I look at what last Tuesday's date was, which will be like today is the 6th. And next Tuesday when I'm making my video, I'll look for everything after the 6th that's a mandala, like mandala subject line of some sort. And I'll know that those ones have not been included yet, and I'll know to go check them and, you know, get the pictures from them and everything. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful day and a great first Mandala Tuesday of this blanket. Super, super excited to be back for that. Keep your eyes peeled because I'm going to be doing my giveaway drawing today also. So very exciting Tuesday. I'm very excited. All right, guys, I will see you on the next Mandala Tuesday. I will see you in a little bit for the drawing, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great day, and let me know what you're making today in the comments. All right, bye, guys. Stay tuned for the montage.